Access Lakeview. It's on!
Hey kids, it's me, Phyllis Rose. Forgive me for interrupting your stories, but it's time for a very special edition of Access Landview. How you doing? Okay, let's jump right into hot topics. And nobody's hotter right now than Jessica Buchanan Brennan. Word on the street is she hopped a plane to Vegas and hasn't been seen or heard from since.
The Vegas cops couldn't arrest me, not for one teeny little slap, especially when I convinced them it was an accident. And they couldn't arrest Ford for kidnapping his own wife. Face it, lunkhead, you lost.
It's not easy being Jessica, or whoever she says she is this week. When that poor little rich girl says she's not herself today, boy, she isn't kidding. Like mother, like daughter, I guess. But I won't lie to you, duckies. For those of us who toil in the gossip industry, Jessica's crack-ups and breakdowns are the gift that keeps on giving.
Echo, I'm sorry, but I'm in a bit of a crisis at the moment, so whatever you have to say is just going to have to wait.
You stay away from Charlie Banks. Vicky has gone through enough. She's in a fragile state, and I do not want you to push her over the edge.
I'm sorry, Vicky, but it can't wait.
But recently it seemed the sultry socialite was heading for a happy ending. She was about to marry her Prince Charming. However, in what became the scandal that sent Buchanan Enterprise stock into a free fall, a BE employee, one Vimal Patel, crashed Jessica's wedding and accused her doting daddy, Clint Buchanan, of monkeying around with Jessica's paternity test so as to pass the child off as Prince Charming's. And, said Patel, Daddy Dearest's skullduggery didn't end there. Buchanan asked Patel to pull another DNA switcheroo, this time to hide Mr. Buchanan's relationship with his own son.
Well, spit it out. Balsam, you said that you had something that you wanted to tell me about my son. So, what? Did something happen to Matthew?
No, this isn't about Matthew.
Okay.
It's about David Vickers.
What's he done now?
This isn't the first time a long-lost love child has turned up at Shea Buchanan. They exhaust me. Those hunky Texan tycoons sure got around back in the day. But that's another story.
You have no idea.
Now, earlier today, it looked like Clint could be headed for the slammer. That is until today's stunning reversal.
What reversal?
You've got Vimal Patel to take the fall for you, but I'm going to find out, you son of a...
Hi, Mom.
Matthew, what are you doing here?
Why shouldn't I be here? Uncle Clint didn't do anything wrong.
Do you remember when Kelly hired me to track down David because she thought that Doreen was falling apart and that she needed to confront David to find closure?
Yeah. And?
I found him. I know where your son is.
I don't need flowers.
I'm sorry. There was something in your tone, your eyes, made me think that something might have upset you.
If something did, I prefer roses.
Keep that in mind.
And if I needed consolation, I would not turn to a con artist like you.
And your friend Phyllis will have all the juicy details for you when we return to this very special edition of Access Landview, The Buchanans, a family under siege.
Mr. Buchanan, I just read the superlative news. Bravo, sir.
Thank you, Nigel, and I have even more news.
Master Joseph will be living here?
Oh, yes, he will, along with his brand new wife, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, sayonara, bonehead. Oh, and you too, babe. Me and my husband will be going.
Going where? Ford, are you really going with her?
No, he's not. They're not going anywhere.
You already horned your way into our wedding. What, you want to come to the honeymoon too?
You're under arrest. For what?
You already tried that, remember?
Well, I'm not arresting Ford for kidnapping this time. I'm arresting him for rape.
Fine. Just say whatever it is you have to say, and then please go away.
Well, as difficult as this is to say.
Charlie! Oh, sweetheart, I'm so glad you're home.
Yeah, I caught the first plane out once the weather cleared up. What are you doing here, Echo?
I don't know. She said she has something important to say, which she was about to do. You quit your job because your father and I asked you to.
I know. But BE could be going under because of all the bad press. I mean, the stock's down 20 points.
Okay, that is Clint's problem. That's not yours.
We can't just lose everything that Grandpa worked so hard for. We have to do what we can to save the company.
You love family, and I think that's great. Nothing would make me happier. But your Uncle Clint
was cleared of all charges. I just heard. So what's the problem, Mom?
Well, I know that Clint claims he's innocent of switching the DNA test results, but I don't believe it for a minute. I don't know how he did it, but I'm pretty sure that he got Vimal Patel to take the fall for him.
Miss Aubrey, it's a pleasure.
Oh, Nigel, the pleasure is all mine.
Is that more like it?
Yes, outside. You know what? Let me give you a hand.
Yeah, thank you.
So, I can't believe you talked Joey into this.
Oh, it was easy. My son has a kind heart, and despite his pain, he responded when he heard that I wanted to make amends. Plus, you and I had a deal, and we both honored it, so what's the problem? You went to Vimal's wife, and you convinced her to have him take the blame, and that got me out of a lot of legal difficulties. And in return, I will not tell Joey that you're a cheap little tramp trying to get some Buchanan money. So it's a win-win situation, Aubrey. Mm-hmm. And you should be very happy living here. This is Buchanan Ground Zero. I am doing you a favor.
I don't think it's a favor. This is you keeping your enemy close.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Just take the flowers. It's a peace offering.
Sloppy seconds.
Fine. Give them to Kelly for me then. I'll just put them in a vase for now and then I'll go.
Oh, wait a minute.
Is this the guy that upset you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dorian, you cut the picture in half. Looks like a broken heart to me.
I need to tell you.
No, you don't have to tell me anything about David. All right? I don't go on my face myself, but Nora, she keeps me up to speed. And I know that he's all over Europe running around. He's chasing supermodels, going to some kind of whipped cream parties.
Phone parties.
Well, whatever. David ran out on everybody in Landview. You know, it's one thing for him to run off on Dorian, but what he did to Matthew, that's unforgivable.
Matthew?
Yeah, he ran out on him, Balsam. Just when Matthew was starting to see him as a big brother, starting to, you know, he started to look up to him. He started to care about him. Not that I always agreed with David's methods of brotherly bonding, but I thought it was a good idea for him to get to know his older brother.
Well,
you know, I even started to warm up to the guy myself. I started to see past that superficial, scheming side of David, and I started to see him as a son. But then he pulled his disappearing act. It's like he didn't give a damn about Matthew or about me. So whatever you have to tell me about him right now, frankly, I don't really give a damn. Because I tell you right now, my family, which, by the way, officially includes you now, Balsam, we don't really need David in our lives because he betrayed all of us.
It's not true, Bo. David didn't betray you. I did.
Haven't you heard of cutting back on non-essentials? Anyway, this is none of your business.
All right, you obviously pride yourself on your ability to cope. but it's not working right now. So I'm just saying that if you want to talk to somebody, I'm here.
And why would I do that?
The same reason that people on airplanes divulge their deepest secrets. Because you don't know me. And I don't rely on you for strength or expect anything from you. Hell, I ain't even a voter in Landview.
Heck, I don't think they let gold diggers vote in Landview.
So I take it this relationship ended badly.
That's it, you're out of time. Yes, indeed. Get out of my house.
You betrayed me? How?
After David left Dorian at the altar, I thought that Clint might know something about where David went.
So did you do some digging?
More like broke into his office. I'm sorry, I know it was a dumb idea.
No, it's okay. Did you find anything?
Yeah. I found evidence that proved that David didn't abandon Dorian at all. There was no way he could have gotten to that wedding, no matter how much he wanted to.
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, I hate to have to tell you this. David was kidnapped.
What?
And he was thrown in a Moroccan prison, and he has been there ever since.
What? Who'd do that to him?
It was Clint.
Does this have something to do with Dad's supposed affair with Nate's mom?
Yes. Yes, it does.
How was that Uncle Clint's fault?
Okay. You said that Uncle Clint hinted to you that he'd heard some rumors about your father and I having affairs?
So he was wrong. That doesn't mean
It's not that he was wrong, Matthew. He was lying. Sweetheart, he invented those rumors. He's using you. That's what he's been doing. He's been using you to stir up trouble between your father and me.
Why would he do that?
Because he wants to break us up.
This isn't C. Daddy Buchanan's first bastard bundle of joy to show up at the family moat. Some of the older members of my audience might remember.
Aubrey and I were talking about how glad we'll be when the gossip dies out.
There's only one way to deal with bottom feeders like Phyllis.
So, would you like to see your room?
Can't wait.
Wait, East Wing, right? I can show you.
Would you bring up my luggage, please?
Nigel, I have plans for the new Mrs. Buchanan, but my plate's a little full right now, so, well, I'm going to be needing your help, Nigel.
I'll make sure that Kelly thanks you properly for your flowers. Oh, excuse me. Goodbye. Mayor Dorian Lord here. Oh, really? Thank you for calling. As if this day couldn't get any worse.
Something wrong?
Didn't anybody ever tell you it's rude to listen in on private conversations?
I'm sorry, I couldn't help but overhear.
It's about your sister's new father-in-law, yes. Clint Buchanan has managed to wriggle out of the charges against him. In fact, it's all over Access Landview right now.
It's terrible. How do you do that?
Oh, he probably got some flunky to take the rap for him. Can only imagine what he had to do to make that happen.
You know, maybe now is not the best time for a serious conversation.
Well, if it's that important, just go ahead and say it.
Well, Vicki, I know that there's been some trouble with your family. Dorian admitted it to me. And I just want you to know that as difficult as our relationship has been, as a mother, you have my full support. And I'm sure that this crisis with Jessica has really taken its toll on you.
What crisis with Jessica?
You haven't heard?
Jessica has split again. Now she's Tess.
Wait, rape?
Well, what?
Again?
You forced yourself on Jessica when she was mentally ill. She was unable to fight back or decide for herself.
Brody,
Tess will have to come down to the station, too.
It wasn't rape.
How would you know?
because I was there. I had sex with Ford. Oh, that's right. Poor little virgin Jessica got all freaked out remembering her father Mitch trying to have sex with her, that she plucked me off the bench and threw me into the game. And I was more than happy to oblige. Because I can tell you, not only was it 100% consensual, it was the best sex of my life.
Oh, good to know.
Jessica, I get the picture. You being tested at the time only proves my point. You weren't Jessica. You weren't able to decide for yourself.
Well, good luck with that. Because without anyone willing to make a statement, you don't have a case. And, I'm gonna say I wanted it. Without Jessica around, you're out of luck.
Get the hell out of my sight. You're coming with me to St. Anne's. Dr. Levin's gonna help bring Jessica back.
You don't have the authority to commit me.
Vicky and Clint do. Jessica gave them that right a long time ago. I'll just make sure that they meet us at St. Anne's.
You can't take me anywhere against my will.
Fine, I'll just keep you right here.
You can't do this to me.
I've got her.
Oh, thank God. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll be right there. Okay, you found Tess. She was in Las Vegas and he's brought her home. I'm gonna go meet them at the airport.
Okay, well, I'm coming with you.
No, darling, I think it's much better if you don't. At least not until we know what we're dealing with, okay?
C. Daddy allegedly ordered Patel to name his ex-wife's current husband, Charles Banks, as Balsam's father, all because he didn't want the little bastard to stake claim on the Buchanan fortune so soon after the appearance of David Vickers Buchanan, son of Bo Buchanan, who recently gained notoriety for stranding Mayor Dorian Lord at the altar again.
Nothing, huh? I'll do everything in my power to make Master Joseph's new bride comfortable.
That's not the kind of help I had in mind, Nigel. Excuse me. Yes, Vicky. Any word? Oh, thank God. Okay, no, okay. I will meet you at the airport.
If you don't take these cuffs off me, I'm going to be forced to file a complaint.
You go right ahead. I'm not letting you walk away, not until your parents and your doctor get here and I know you're going to be cared for.
I'm out of here.
No, Langston, hang on a second. Let me at least come with you so I can talk to you.
Hey! I need you here right now. We had a deal. Remember?
I'm sorry. I have to stay for my son.
I don't trust Aubrey as far as I can throw her, but I can't watch her every second, so you're going to have to be my eyes and ears, Nigel.
With pleasure, sir.
Oh, Aubrey is unpacking. She loves the room. Where are you off to?
Brody found Jessica. I should say he found Tess. They were in Las Vegas, and their plane has just landed in Landview, and I'm going to go over there and meet up with them.
Okay, I'm going to go with you.
No, Joey, no, you're not. Your mother and I have this covered. You just stay here, settle in, and I'll keep you posted.
All right, thank you.
I'm glad you agreed to move in here, Joey. I meant it when I said I wanted to make things better between us.
I hope so. Because lately you really haven't given me a reason to trust your word. So you'll forgive me if I'm just a little bit skeptical.
I understand that, yeah. But no matter what happens, I love my kids. And of course, that includes you.
Now, you have to know how sorry I am.
When? How long has David been there?
Since his failed wedding to Dorian.
David dumped Dorian in August. You're telling me this has been going on since then?
Yes.
When did you find out about it?
Not long after that.
So you're telling me that you've known about this for months? And you didn't tell me?
I would have gone straight to you, but Matthew caught me going through the files in Clint's office and he turned me in. And Clint was on to me. He threatened to throw me into jail, which would have meant me abandoning Gigi and Shane and leaving them with nothing. And then Clint somehow had Gigi's LU grant revoked. Who knows what he would have done next? I put my family over yours. I messed up.
So my son was suffering, is suffering, right now. And you did nothing.
I wanted to. You have to believe me.
You know, I know that Clint is the heavy in all of this, but right now, it feels like the person that stabbed me in the back is you.
Who does that dame's research? Fact check! First of all, I left David. David did not leave me. When I found out that he was a two-bit grifter, not at all unlike you.
And yet, somehow, you almost married him twice?
Well, you saw that picture of him. He's very attractive, and he can be very charming and amusing, and the sex was good. I'm lying. It was great. But I certainly would never take him back now.
I don't buy it.
I beg your pardon?
Whatever you say, you're still hung up on him.
What? Why in the world would I ever go back to a man who did something like that to me?
Then why haven't you moved on?
I don't get why Uncle Clint would try to break up you and Dad.
Oh, honey, he was so hurt that I left him for his brother. I mean, he never got over it. So he blackmailed Inez into drugging your father and trying to get him into bed. Honey, that's what you walked in on. I mean, that was after he put Eddie Ford up to kidnapping me.
No, you couldn't.
Yes, he did, sweetie. He needed to get me out of the way so Inez had time to work on your father. You wanted to coax him into having an affair with her.
There's no way. Uncle Clint would not do that, so don't even say that.
I can't believe Vicky didn't tell me about Jessica. And since when is Dorian confiding in you?
Okay. She paid me a little visit. Chuckles, it's bad.
What do you mean it's
Dorian
bad?
suspects the truth about us.
Oh, God, how?
Because you left your watch in my room. She saw it. She knew it was yours. I tried to deny it, but you know what she's like. She didn't buy it for a second.
What, and so you admitted it to her?
No, but you know what she's like, Chuckles. She's like a dog with a bone when she gets something in her head. That's why I came here, to warn you. And then when Vicky answered the door, I used the crisis with Jessica to use it as an excuse for my coming over here. Obviously, you haven't told her yourself.
No.
Well, are you going to tell her about the night we spent together?
Oh, come on, how can I lay that on her now when her whole world is falling apart?
Of course. I suppose it really doesn't matter anyway.
It does matter.
Look, it's the Vicster and the Trickster. Hey, Clint, screw with anyone's DNA lately?
Hello, Tess. I have brought the commitment papers, and Dr. Levin is meeting us here.
Oh, that's your big plan? Commit me in the middle of the airport?
I can assure you that no one wants this. But Jessica needs help, and you are not going to stop us.
Oh, well, we'll see about that. Won't we, Bobby?
What does any of this have to do with Robert Ford, and why the hell is he here?
Oh, Dr. Levin, thank you so much for coming. I have the commitment papers. Please, we have to get Jessie to the hospital right away.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt your little commitment party, but, those papers right there are outdated. The only person that can commit me is my husband. And you're not going to do that, are you, Bobby, baby?
Your husband?
Oh, yes. Bobby and I just got married. Aren't you going to congratulate us?
That's impossible.
This is a load of bull. This marriage can't be legal.
Fortunately, it is. I saw the license. Tess married him as Jessica.
Well, We'll find some way to get this marriage overturned because Jessica needs to get to the hospital immediately.
I agree. She needs to be in a mental health facility, but I can't enforce these papers. Tess is right. If she's married and it appears that the marriage is legal, only her husband can commit her now. And if Mr. Ford won't agree, I'm afraid I have no other recourse.
Mr. Ford, you can see that Jessica is a very, very sick woman. I don't know how she convinced you to marry her or why, but it's a terrible thing that you've done, and it's only going to make a bad situation much worse.
I just want rights to my son, so I did what I had to do.
You are not getting anywhere near that child.
We'll see about that. And no, I'm not signing any commitment papers.
Well, thank God that's over. Take off the handcuffs for a moment.
No. I need to talk to Jessica.
Well, she's not here, remember? So, why don't you run off home to your husband? Oh, if he's still there. Nice work, by the way, letting your husband's ex-lover move in with you. How's that working out for you?
Oh. I don't know what I'm doing, but I can't help it.
I think the kids call it making out.
Yeah, don't joke.
I'm sorry. Guess I'm just trying to protect myself.
What, from what?
You're married,
Yeah,
Charlie.
I know. And the last thing that I want to do is hurt Vicky. I love her. She's my wife. But Echo, I feel something for you. Damn it, I do.
I can't. I can't. I care about you too, Charlie, but you're married. So you're going to have to decide what you want.
I have worked so hard to earn your trust. And I have treasured it. Really, that's why it kills me to lose it now. And I know I don't have the right, but I'm just asking you just to please understand and forgive me. Please, you have to know how scared I was for my family.
So you didn't come to me?
Bo.
I would have done everything I could to help protect Gigi and Shane, to take care of them. I would have done everything I could to keep you out of jail, and I thought you knew that. You were like a son to me, I thought. You're not my son. Right now, my son is rotting in a Moroccan prison. So if you're looking for absolution, boss, I'm sorry about that. You can't get it from me. All I can think about right now is finding David.
Oh, listen.
No, just go! You heard me, Balsam.
No. Not until I make it up to you.
Sorry to be blunt, but what you need is a good...
Hey, save it. All right. It's not as if I haven't had opportunities.
And
they just weren't David. Not as charming, not as fun, not... Heaven help me.
You still love him.
I'm gonna nail Clint for this, among other things, but I need David to do it.
Nailing Clint's my new middle name. What do you need me to do?
Nothing. You've already done enough.
It really sucks when the person you want to be with is with someone else.
Or a whole foam party full of people.
I'm just saying I know how you feel.
I still can't stop thinking about Jessica. I'm so angry at my father for causing that breakdown in the first place.
Your dad didn't do anything, though.
Oh,
He was cleared by Vimmel.
Come on, Aubrey, you were at the wedding. He all but admitted to switching the DNA results. He's guilty. He just found some way for one of his employees to take the fall. Look, I'm sorry, honey. I gotta see what that woman is saying about my family.
Even Landview's district attorney, Nora Buchanan, didn't escape the dark cloud that has hung over the Buchanan clan of late.
Look, Mom, Uncle Clint would not have you or anyone else kidnapped just to break up you and Dad. So why would you say something like that?
Because it's true. Oh, your father and I debated about whether we should tell you or not.
So you guys have known about it this whole time?
Yes, we have. And now I'm making the decision to tell you for your own safety.
How do you expect me to believe any of this?
Oh, honey, please. I know it sounds crazy.
Crazy? Yeah, it does. Who's the one who told you Uncle Clint hired Eddie Ford to kidnap you in the first place?
Okay, well, Inez speculated as such, but she didn't know for sure. Listen, the only person who knows for sure is Eddie Ford, and he's dead.
Dead? Convenient.
Well, actually, your father and I don't think it's really very convenient at all.
What are you trying to say?
We think Clint killed Eddie Ford.
Nora Buchanan's kidnapping remains an enigma. And what's more, Duckies, the man she named as her abductor, one Eddie Ford, ended up dead. Now, the cops ruled it as a homicide, but the crime remains unsolved.
Who is that guy? He looks so familiar.
Jessie, please, listen to me. Darling, I know you're in there. Look at me. I know you're in there, Jessica. And I know you're afraid to come out. You're afraid to fight back. But you cannot let Tess dominate you now. You cannot let her take you away from your children and your family and from Brody, who loves you so much. Jessie?
Nope. Jessica's left the building. Let's go. Now.
I'm sorry.
By the way, sex with you sucks. There won't be an encore.
Put a sock in it.
Vicky won't hear about our night together from me. But you're gonna have to decide. Charlie, I just want you to know that I do want you. But I can't tell you what to do. The ball's in your court. Just remember that Dorian is a wild card. Do you really want Vicky to find out about us from her?
What do you think you're doing?
Comforting you.
Oh,
Is that a problem?
I'll say it is. Langston, what's the matter, honey? What did Ford do this time?
Ask his wife.
I'm sorry, I'm dumping this. I was just leaving.
Oh, Charlie, it was awful. What happened?
Just hold me. I'm so glad you're home.
What's wrong?
I don't know. She's locked herself in her room.
You've got a lot to deal with.
And what business is that of yours? And what are you still doing here? And why do you keep pumping me for information?
Because you need to talk to someone.
Well, that someone is not going to be you. Now, will you get out of here? Really? Leave on your own, or I'm going to have you thrown out.
I'm going.
Thank God you're here. I need help with Jessica.
Sorry, I can't help you.
Well, then, what are you doing here?
Police business.
What kind of police business?
It's none of your damn business.
Your uncle could have been implicated in my kidnapping and attempted rape, so he killed Eddie Ford, the only guy who could testify against him.
No. It's impossible. He couldn't have. Uncle Clint is not a murderer.
Oh, God, honey, I'm sorry. I know how much you love your Uncle Clint, and I know this is hurting you, but really, I need you to be very clear about why we want you to stay away from him. We think your uncle killed a man in cold blood, and the proof is buried with Eddie Ford. Now, your uncle is not superhuman. There is evidence out there somewhere. And there's some way that we're going to be able to link Clint with Eddie Ford, but we need you to be prepared, okay? Because your father and I are going to find it.
You know, you probably just recognized that Ford guy because his picture was in the paper. I'm gonna go take a bath, okay? Hey, you wanna join me? Chris in our new home?
You don't have to ask me twice. Go be right up.
Okay.
Hey, Dad! Joey! Oh, sorry, I'm not interrupting.
No, I'm just conducting a little business.